Waltrip comes with him.
Takes Waltrip and Earnhardt. Past Buddy Baker. Side by side, Baker and Earnhardt, the rookie on the inside.
Coming around to complete lap number 4 of only 20 laps, 50 miles. Who will take the lion's share of $180,000 at the line? On this one, it's Neil Bonnet in front. Will he be there when the checker falls? Hang on. Here they come another time into the first turn. Turning laps over 193 mile an hour average, inches apart. And if you think this is something, be with us next Sunday for the Daytona 500 here on CBS. The most exciting automobile race in the world, the Daytona 500 complete. Back straightaway, Bonnet has the advantage. Waltrip in the tight draft with him. They're trying to pull away from the field, David.
Bonnet and Darrell Waltrip seem to be doing just that, in fact. This is where Darrell Waltrip was last year, in second place right through the race. He took one lead for one lap, dropped back into second.
Earnhardt pulls up again. Dale Earnhardt is on the move and closing on the leaders as they come down to complete the 5th lap here in the flash of 80. Give me some speeds. 7 laps complete when they come by this time. 13 laps to go. Field whaling down the backstretch at nearly 200 miles per hour. Waltrip in front. Earnhardt in second. On the radio, Buddy Baker has reported to Waldo Wilson, the crew chief, there's nothing wrong with the car. He just got out of that draft for a moment and dropped back. Things are working well for him. He thinks he can overhaul the rest of the field and win the $50,000 first place in this 20-lap event.
Well, if the first lap's only to go by in the back straight, he certainly made short work of them there. He's nestled back there right behind Cale Yarborough.
Here they are, back to the west banking, 31 degrees, 4 stories high, slamming through, goes Waltrip in first, Earnhardt in second. It is Bonnet running in third. Here he is, the second place finisher in last year's Daytona 500, Darrell Waltrip on the point right now.
Dale Earnhardt coming up to have a go at Waltrip, going into turn 3. Will he have a go, or is he just content to stay there?
There you see Bobby Allison coming up the inside, number 15. The Warner Hodgson car makes a run for the lead. Prepped by Bud Moore, now falls back to 4th. Coming up, the men's 1,000 here on the CBS Sports Spectacular this afternoon. Hang in for that just a bit later. Right now, watching live, 9 cars still in a bundle battling for the lead. And a big bundle at stake, $180,000. Ripping through the banking another time. Waltrip in front, and the Rookie of the Year in the Osterlund car, Dale Earnhardt, took a terrible crash. He and Waltrip smashed up at Pocono. It broke both of Earnhardt's collarbones, bruised his heart. He only missed, however, 4 races and came back to win Rookie of the Year. Earnhardt, the son of the legendary Ralph Earnhardt, comes down the inside. He's making another try, but Waltrip walks away, David.
Dale Earnhardt had a great race last year here on CBS in the Daytona 500 and obviously held up terribly well in the year to become Rookie of the Year. And just look at him now. This is a guy that this time last year was a rookie.
Allison is going to try the outside. Bobby Allison breaks high. He can run right up against the concrete. There he is, nosing up in there. Earnhardt tried to throw a block on him last lap at 192.7. The wind is blowing right in their face down the back straightaway, and it has pretty well slowed things down today. The pole sitter, he only won 194 mile an hour average earlier. He's Buddy Baker back there for the 2nd year in a row.
It's amazing to see the Mercury of Neil Bonnet and Bobby Allison so well up. They qualified relatively slowly for the race next Sunday, and with this draft, they'll be hanging right in there. There's Cale Yarborough.
Halfway this time by. 10 laps down, 10 to go, and there's your field. 10 down and 10 to go at the halfway mark. It's Waltrip in front, Earnhardt in second, Bonnet in third, Bobby Allison in fourth, Cale Yarborough resting in 5th in that Junior Johnson car.
Cale Yarborough has made no effort to do anything yet, and you must think that he's just lying there, biding his time, using the draft to everybody else to hang in there, and he's bound to make some pretty strenuous efforts right close to the end of this race. But it's no good making a break too soon.
You're watching the Clash of 80, a prologue to next week's Daytona 500 live from Daytona, the world center of speed. Earnhardt goes into the lead. Down comes Bonnet to the inside. Bonnet challenging for first. Neil Bonnet puts the Wood brothers, number 21, up on the lead.
Neil Bonnet's draft, that car of Neil Bonnet's in the draft is fantastic. That's the 2nd time he's been dragged past the winner, or the leader. No winners yet.
Side side by side, but give the advantage to number 21. Put Bonnet in front as he slides right off the front bumper of Earnhardt to hold that lead and block number 2 from going back around.
Bobby Allison swirling there between Cale Yarborough and Buddy Baker. What a race this is. And, of course, to win this, $180,000 for the race, $50,000 to the winner.
Next time by, just 8 laps to go. Talk about wheel-to-wheel racing. Brother, here it comes. Last lap, 191.083 miles per hour. There's the middle of the pack. There you see Cale Yarborough resting in 5th. They're the leaders again, and Bobby Allison back in there. Like bullets, they propel themselves out of the corner. Down they come, completing the 12th lap. The leader is still Neil Bonnet. As they come to the start-finish line, 14 laps complete, 16 to go. You're watching live the clash of 1980, 12 top NASCAR drivers, 6 to go. In front is Neil Bonnet, live from the World Center of Speed, Daytona, with these same drivers. Plus, an additional, 28 drivers go at it next week for 500 miles.
This is what you should get for 500 miles next week, and Darrell Waltrip goes down the inside, taking Dale Earnhardt and Cale Yarborough coming in there for the 3rd time, trying to take 3rd spot away from Neil Bonnet.
Back on the outside comes that car number 21, Neil Bonnet. Laps beginning to unravel in this magnificent race conceived by Monty Roberts, now in its 2nd year, and this one's a barn burner. You talk about post racing. Look at that. 4 cars bumper to bumper, 8 cars running just 0.7 of a second apart. And the difference between first and second is the difference between night and day, $50,000 to $18,000. Photo finish camera is set up and ready. Waltrip showing the tremendous power of that Dygaard racing team as they go down the back straightaway another time. The Austerlin team with young Dale Earnhardt ready to challenge. Then Neil Bonnet rests in 3rd. Bonnet back on the inside. Neil Bonnet squirms down to the bottom of the racetrack, takes 1 position, and then falls back. That number 2 is running really tough out here today.
Bobby Allison is alongside him too in a similar sort of car, also slipped up into 3rd spot there. These 2 cars seem to be able to use the draft better than the other cars out there.
Earnhardt throws the block as if he was on a half-mile track. He just pushes the back end of his car out in front of people to get them off the pedal and slow them down. But if they touch at 190 miles an hour, it's good night, nurse. In the back straightaway, car number 88. Waltrip has the advantage. Big one, biggest one of the race. Almost 1 car length.
Yeah, 1 car length. There's only less than 3 minutes of racing left to decide who's going to win 50,000, who's going to win 18. Dale Earnhardt's not going to give up easy. Right there.
The California-based team with car number 2, Earnhardt out of North Carolina, comes again, ready to challenge. Darrell Waltrip to the lead. Allison resting beautifully in 3rd.
We must start looking for the big move now from Buddy Baker and Cale Yarborough. With only 3 laps to go, they've got to get nearer the front of this train to make the big move on the last lap.
Less than 3. Coming up, the men's 1,000 here on CBS. We've got the $180,000 50 right now. 50 miles, less than 3 laps to go. Earnhardt closes again. He and Waltrip are trying to get away. That 2-car draft, they try to hitch up. Allison won't let him loose.
Darrell Waltrip leads by 4 feet. Dale Earnhardt. They seem to have made a bit of a break there.
But here comes Allison. He's been trying to shake those men behind him as he worked the high side and low side of the track. Now he closes up. Harold Kinder indicating 2 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. Talk about dramatic automobile racing at over 190 miles per hour. There they are into turn number 1.
3 abreast.
Bonnet comes up the inside. Bonnet takes 1. Bonnet goes for Allison. Waltrip stays in front. Earnhardt is in 2nd. 50,000 to win.
1.5 laps to go. Cale Yarborough. Somebody making a move there on Neil Bonnet. I think it's Buddy Baker.
Allison gets into a 3-car draft. They like to decide it between 2. Just 2 if they can do it, but Allison hangs in. White flag is ready. This is it. A kamikaze attack. We have our own Banzai pipeline here today, and it's the start-finish line of the Daytona Speedway. Down they come. There it is. 1 more lap, and somebody will be in clover. And the others can just get ready for next Sunday's Daytona 500. Earnhardt pulling up. Will he take a shot? Waltrip seems to have some power here. Look at him pull away.
Buddy Baker down on the inside there trying to get around Neil Bonnet. Didn't work that time.
Earnhardt moves in.
This is going to be a heart stopper. Dale Earnhardt coming up to the outside.
Pulls by. Earnhardt takes the lead. Waltrip back to second. Last lap. Bobby Allison goes high. Neil Bonnet comes low. Earnhardt pulls away. 3 cars side by side in the banking. Down into turn number 4. Earnhardt with tremendous power. Look at that precision driving right to the line. Here comes Bonnet trying to close. Earnhardt will win it. Dale Earnhardt in the Osterlund car. Rod Osterlund's automobile has won the Clash of 1980. How about it, Hobbs?
An absolutely perfectly judged race. You can say no more. I mean, everybody was in there with an equal chance, and Dale Earnhardt really judged that to an absolute nicety. Just a few hundred yards to go, he took that lead and absolutely left everybody in his wake. Tremendous, tremendous driving and a superb finish.
Some kind of fireworks to initiate Speed Week 1980 here at the World Center of Speed. And next week you'll see this kid, Dale Earnhardt, who just 2 or 3 years ago was scraping his way along on the old Hamburger Trail, trying to make it back in this great Osterlund Racing Team car, trying for his Daytona 500. We will return to the Daytona International Speedway after this word from your local station.
Monday. All right.
You have just seen this young man average 191.489 miles per hour for 20 laps, 50 miles, and win the Clash of 1980. And we'll be back to talk with him about this race and next Sunday's Daytona 500 a little later. Right now, let's go to Dick Stockton. It's a very busy day here at the World Center of Speed. The Automobile Racing Club of America bringing their cars back out for their ARCA 200. And standing by in victory lane right now is the youngster from Kannapolis, North Carolina, who has amazed everyone here with this outstanding performance in the Clash of 1980. Rock Yates ready to interview the winner of that remarkable automobile race, Dale Earnhardt.
We got him, Ken. I think he's a little shocked. I'm not sure he still believes what happens.
It's something else. I just can't handle it. His team has really worked hard, and it's really coming all together now. I just can't believe it.
Dale, the car started in 5th spot. You didn't have really a super shot at the lead at the beginning of the thing. Then you kind of moved up. Where did you begin to really feel you could run with those guys?
Well, I could draft better than I could pull them, and you know they all would run good in the draft. But I just tried to hang in there around 2nd, 3rd, and save it for the end. And I made that shot at the last there. And Darrell started down just like Donnie did on Kell, and I just went to the outside, and it paid off. I couldn't believe it.
You're going to run this car, according to Jake Elder, your crew chief, just about the way in the 500, just about the way you got it set up right now. So that's got to make you feel pretty good for next week's 500.
Yeah, it drove real comfortable the whole race, and you know, 1 or 2 adjustments, and we'll be ready. I just can't believe it. I'm really up on high now.
Our congratulations, Dale Earnhardt. Back to you, Ken.
Great day for Dale Earnhardt here at the Daytona Speedway. Let's take a look at what has happened in qualifying for next week's Daytona 500. Here it is, the Rainier number 28, prepared so beautifully by Waddell Wilson and crew. And for the 2nd straight year, the 4th time in his career, Buddy Baker of Charlotte, North Carolina will start on the pole. But that has been a harbinger of ill. Only 4 men have ever won from the pole. The last in 1968 was Cale Yarborough. This man, number 1, Donnie Allison, qualified 2nd fastest, and he will start outside of the front row. Baker's time was 194.099, and Allison qualified at 193.440. They'll be up front for next week's Daytona 500. Ned Jarrett talked to them earlier.
Buddy, a little bit slower speeds this year than last year.
Well, we had a wind condition down the backstretch that we didn't anticipate. We put a gear in there to really get us down the straightaways, and when we come out of number 2 corner over there, Donnie and I both, we thought we'd had engine trouble. Mine dropped almost 200 RPM down the backstretch, and when you have these conditions, you have to live with them. And when I got my time, I was pretty disappointed because we had run 196 in practice, and then to look up on the board and see 194, it was surprising to say the least. But as it turned out, it really didn't have that much to do with it.
Donnie, it looks like it'll be a super competitive race.
Well, I feel that way, Ned. You know, the cars, I think, this year are a little closer maybe than they were last year. I think Buddy and I had everybody out run a little bit more than that last year. And, you know, I'm like Buddy. I was a little disappointed when I saw the time, but I knew that everybody else was going to have the same condition.
It's the same front row as a year ago, Baker and Allison, and you remember how that one ended. Let's take a look at what happened out here in qualifying earlier today. This is the Western NASCAR champion, Bill Schmidt, Redding, California, number 73 in turn 4. At 190 miles per hour, looked like he lost a drive shaft. He took this incredible slide, headed for the wall, and David, I thought he'd just cleaned out a car.
He just absolutely clipped that wall just absolutely perfectly. The thing blew up on the banking and sent him into that wild spin.
Later, number 18, the rookie from Woodward, Oklahoma. The Will Cronkite car, number 18, loses an engine. And watch this one. Slide. Fire out from beneath the car towards the wall. Turn number 2. Slams into it.
Luckily, not too hard. It's when the noise stops that it's one of those things when you think the noise is all over and it suddenly starts again.
Some 45 cars tried to qualify today. This was Lenny Pond. Remember, he had trouble in the 125s a year ago on Thursday. Same place, turn 2. Very cold day. Could have been slippery up there. The car backs away. Fire streaking off the front bumper as it's down to the apron. Then across the track went Lenny Pond, the Virginian, slamming into the wall.
As you can see, he gave the wall a pretty hard clip there, so that's put some guys, got a lot of work to do on that car before. More practice tomorrow or Tuesday.
So when it was over, Baker and Allison are in the front row. The third fast time here today was Cale Yarborough. The fourth fast time was Scott and then Dale Earnhardt. There are the standings on the Busch class just completed. Dale Earnhardt has won with Neil Bonnet in second. Cale Yarborough and the entire field finished less than 1 second apart, those front 7 automobiles. Well, we'll see you back next Sunday for the Daytona 500, and here on the Sports Spectacular, the 125-mile qualifying races will be on here next Saturday. Join David Hobbs, Ned Jarrett, Brock Yates, and I. We're looking forward to having you with us for more competition from Daytona next weekend. Now, let's go.